This episode of Walt Disney World Today is sponsored by DVCBuyResale.com. DVC by Resale is a great place to buy or sell your Disney Vacation Club points. You can view the current DVC resales, get answers to frequently asked questions, and see the DVC point charts, all by going to www.dvcbuyresale.com. Or you can call Chantel, who is the owner, at 1-800-844-4099.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, September 28th, 2007, and this is episode 315 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hunchford from MGMstudios.org. On the show today, we have Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
I hate when you go to me first. I have nothing prepared.
Keeping you on your toes, Mike.
Thanks.
And also here is Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com and All Ears Net. Welcome, Mike.
Is there a problem, officers?
My Saturday night?
Eddie
Murphy.
I made a joke. I was thinking great movie, from Eddie Murphy movie. I'm like, wait a minute, that isn't the Great Movie Ride.
What movie was that from?
Trading Places.
Yeah.
Muppet, yes.
The Muppet movie.
And joining us once again, it's Chris Eliopoulos, our favorite artiste, if you will. Welcome, Chris.
I'm gonna since Len's not here, I'll do his part. How's it going, Matt?
Outstanding.
Yay!
So on today's show, we're talking about what to do on rainy days, because inevitably when we plan our trips to Walt Disney World, we're assuming in our minds that it's going to be blue skies, sun shining, birds singing, and Newell in a bush somewhere. I mean, it's that kind of, it's the ideal thing in mind. And a lot of times you get down there and you get a thunderstorm, and it can rain, and there's obviously different kinds of rain we're talking about. We're talking about, a passing thunderstorm versus a complete washout of the day. And for a lot of people, it really throws people off because it's not as fun, obviously, being in the park when it does rain. So we thought we would talk about what happens, what to do, because when it rains, it's really not the end of the world. You shouldn't just decide to go back to your room and watch that channel in your resort that only plays Disney cartoons all day. Right, Mike Scopa?
This is correct.
So if you're going here, there really isn't anywhere to start. I mean, what are some really rainy day tips that really come to mind when we're talking about advising our listeners on how to best take advantage of a rainy day? Because really, you can take advantage of it, I think.
Well, Matt, first thing is first, and that is that everyone should have some type of plan in place prior to going to Disney World, just in case it does rain. And let me throw a couple ideas out there. Number one, you want to pack a poncho for everyone in your traveling party, and that means not going down there and buying I forget what they're charging for ponchos down there, but maybe go to your local Walmart or dollar store and get $1 or $2 poncho and get a clear one too, so that you can see through it. You don't want to be one of the 5 million people wearing yellow ponchos down there. So that
they don't have the yellow ponchos anymore, right? They got the clear ones now?
I think they've got clear. Oh, yeah, they're sort of like gray, cloudy, whatever, opaque, if you will. And if you bring a backpack with you, you may want to put one of those collapsible umbrellas in there. And then there's something else that I'll plant the seed here, and we'll talk about it at the end of the show. When you're going, pack a few old newspapers in your luggage to take down with you. Maybe about 2 or 3 days worth of papers, or one Sunday edition of the newspaper, and then because you may find it useful if it does rain.
In case the bathroom breaks and you have to house train yourselves.
Just remind me to pay attention to that point so I can tell everybody what that's all about.
Yeah. And now when it does rain, certain attractions, mostly outdoor thrill rides, are going to be closing down. That's like Expedition Everest, Test Track. Although Test Track doesn't need rain to close down.
That's true.
But so some attractions you're out of luck for, but in general, most of the attractions at Walt Disney World are available to the public. Although I should say, I think I've shared this story before. One day I was in Animal Kingdom and it was raining pretty much all day, and that park really suffers in the rain because there are so many attractions that are outdoors. You've got Everest, you've got the Safari, you've got Kali River Rapids. Those are 3 major attractions. You're not going to go on the nature trails because it's all outdoors. So, I've just named 5 different things you can't do, and the park isn't exactly a Magic Kingdom in terms of the number of attractions to it. What do you guys think? I mean, Scopa, you've been there for hurricanes. What's been your experience in the rain in Animal Kingdom?
Well, the first thing is that I always pay attention to the forecast, and if I know there's more than a 50% chance of rain, I won't go to the Animal Kingdom because I know that there will be a lot of things closed down. However, there are a lot of people who, and Len Testa would probably be one person who would say, well, if it looks like it's going to rain, then I'm probably going to go to the Animal Kingdom because if it doesn't rain, there may not be many people there because a lot of people may say, well, heck, if it's going to rain, I'm not going. So, I mean, it's you can take a chance on going, but in general, if it's going to rain, I'm staying away from the Animal Kingdom. Not that I go there a lot anyways,
The half day that you're there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, all of them are like that. All of them are like that. I mean, we did the Magic Kingdom one morning, and it just opened up, and there was like nobody there, and we hit Space Mountain like 5 times in a row. The kids were excited about it, and you can actually hit some of these rides when there's not a lot of people there. Just get your ponchos and an extra pair of socks or something with you, and because your feet are going to get wet, And
you're right, Chris. When it rains, it drives away the crowds, and wait times can really reduce quite a bit. So if you're going during a busier time of the year and you get a rain out day, you should really take advantage of it because you can go to really any of the parks and have much less of a wait for most of the attractions out there, because a lot of people see rain and they just they do something in their resort, or they just go somewhere off property. I mean, they don't want to go outside, and you can really take advantage of it. So that's a great point.
Wait, I just thought of something too. You go to Animal Kingdom, you go to Cali River Rapids. First thing, you'll be soaking wet for the rest of the day. Who cares? Go on everything else. You'll be soaking wet.
Yeah, because being soaking wet is a lot of fun.
Well, you're going to be wet anyway. You might as well just soak it up.
Thanks, Scopa. So, Mike, I was going to ask you, when it rains, what would be the park that appeals to you the most?
That's easy, Mike.
I would say Epcot.
There you go.
Okay, Mike, what park appeals to you most when it's not raining?
I would say Epcot.
The witness may step down. But Epcot does, I mean, other than Test Track, really, I don't think there are any other attractions that suffer from the rain. No. I mean, World Showcase is going to be a little soggy, but, nothing's going to be closed because of it.
Well, the entertainment around World Showcase will not be, up and running.
Touche. Yeah, certainly, and that'll hold true also at the studios. No Street and Sphere characters.
That's true.
Now, when you're going to these other parks, let's go back to the Magic Kingdom for a second. You also want to take advantage of, when we're talking about rain in any of the parks, really, and the Magic Kingdom is a good example of this because they have attractions that are a little bit longer in terms of duration than the other parks. A lot of times, rain comes and goes in Florida very quickly. And what I like to do is I like to go on an attraction that I know is a longer attraction, like in the Magic Kingdom, the Haunted Mansion, even Splash Mountain, something that I know I'm going to be in a ride for 10 to 15 minutes. And when you're on a ride like that, you can often wait. That's better than just waiting out the rain. You'll be somewhere inside, and you never know. You might just come out and, it's not raining anymore, or you get a little respite so you can, walk around.
That happened with us this past trip. It rained, and we walked into Ellen, and by the time we got out of there, the sun was back, and the rain was long gone. But, the whole time we were inside, it poured. I mean, we came out, and it was drenched. Everybody was soaked, and the ground was saturated, but we were nice and dry.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
Judy, stupid energy.
It's almost worth looking at which attraction seems to have a long wait and just go to Peter Pan's Flight in Fantasyland and just say, well, it looks like it's going to rain for about 45 minutes, so I might as well get in line and wait it out. So you could do it. You could take that approach too.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, and the another great idea I also find is it's a great time to meet characters. Because a lot of them are in indoor venues, like in the studios you have at the end of the animation tour over the Magic at Disney Animation. There's an indoor meet and greet area. Certainly in the Magic Kingdom, you can. There's a number of covered areas to meet characters. So it might be a good opportunity to, like if you go to Mickey's Toontown Fair, great place to just bring the kids and go, or yourselves, and go meet some of the different characters that are out there.
And you know,
Chris?
I've got kids, and one of the biggest problems when you have rain with kids, and if you are going to wait online, these kids are going to be just a mess. They're not going to be happy. So I try to find things that are a little bit exciting to do or something different. And Disney's always good with their hotels, so they know when they have bad weather. They provide things for kids in the hotels, little events or little things. They come out of nowhere. And so we've actually had times where the kids play in the lobby with other kids, and they have little, like those kid cot stations, but they do it in the hotels. They have fun for them there. Or we take them down to go shopping. We just go down to the main zone there.
Disney.
And just you know, when you can promise them you're going to get them a toy or something like that, they're quite happy. You know, they'll go and they won't be as disappointed as they were when they got up in the morning and discovered that it was just pouring and there was not going to be much of a vacation that day. So.
Well, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go to DisneyQuest on a rainy day because everybody and his brother are probably going to come up with that same idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not if you got to pay so much. Not if you have to pay that much. You know, a family of 5 that are going to shell out. Well, how much is it to get in now?
Don't know. It's been a while.
It's $25.
Yeah, so a family of 5 going in, that's $125. That's a lot of money for a rainy day.
Yeah, but if it's closing soon, you won't have to worry about it. Nobody will be in there.
That's true.
You have plenty of space in there.
What about the water parks? Do they close in the rain?
I think only if it's lightning out. If there's like, you know, it's the same kind of rules like
the pools.
I mean, if it's just drizzling or something like that, they'll be open. But you know, if it's lightning out, you're not going to go on. You know,
Summit Plummet.
The water wedgies are free.
Sorry, Stacy.
But, you know, if it's going to be, there's also a difference, you know, with the kinds of rain. And, you know, a lot of times my favorite is when it's like misty out. You know, it's nasty out, but it's just, you know, it's spitting. It's just raining on and off, and it's light rain, but it's just a disgusting kind of a day. That's perfect. Crowds are going to be lower, and it's really not that bad. I mean, it's really only really bad when you're dealing with thunderstorms. You're dealing with that heavy pounding rain, like, you know, Scopey, you had to deal with back in the jungles of Nam. You know, it's just that really is annoying, and you know that can really that really is harder to deal with than, you know, kind of just, you know, light rain.
It's just
the
no
old
fun.
jokes are ready.
You know, it's just no fun because what it does is it alters your plans and forces you to quickly come up with alternative plans, especially if you have children who are very impatient. And it's like, okay, what can we do so that they really don't, you know, go, you know, spastic on me or whatever. And it really puts a strain on the vacation. So what's really good to do is to think about what you would do on a rainy day well before you take off for Orlando, because you may or may not have to depend upon these contingency plans to maintain your sanity.
You know, I just thought of something. Newell, you know, you mentioned Epcot before as a great idea for a park for the rainy day. I would say, you know, what would be a good idea is to go to World Showcase and drink around the world, or, you know, drink around a few countries over there, because there you know, it doesn't really matter, because after a few drinks you won't really notice it after, you know, a while.
It's true. After the second one, I'll be like, what? I mean, there'd be more beer spilled on me than rain.
It's really trying to jail cell.
So, Mike, before we go, you mentioned something about newspapers. What exactly are you talking about?
Well, this little tip I discovered back in 2004. I was at Epcot.
AD or
You beat me to that one.
Yeah, 2004 BC. We were at Epcot I was there with about a dozen of my friends, and we were going to watch Illuminations, and the skies just opened up. Actually, we had dinner at Nine Dragons. That was the first and the last time I'll ever eat at that place. And we were trying to make our way. We're hoping that the rain would stop, and we're trying to make our way to some place where we wouldn't get soaked. And on the process, our sneakers got just soaked. So we're driving back to Pop Century. I was there with my son, and he said, "Dad, let's stop off. I want to buy a newspaper." So bought a newspaper. We went into All Things Pop. Bought a newspaper. I said, I don't want to read the newspaper. No, I said, you'll see. Get into the room. He takes the newspaper and he starts balling it up and stuffing it into his sneakers. I said, what are you doing? He says the newspaper will act as a wick and it will take the moisture out of the out of the sneakers. So I did the same thing. I started taking pieces of newspaper, stuffing it in my sneaker, and in the morning when I got up, the newspaper was soaked and my sneakers were all dry.
I think we need to get Mythbusters on this duel.
Us rich people just put our sneakers in our dryers that we have at the Disney Vacation Club. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like an old Mohican trick or something like that.
And then he does his laundry on a rock.
Well, Mike's old. He knew the first of the Mohicans, right?
Yep.
He wasn't the last. He was the first.
Actually, Chris, I'm the one. I mean, I named him Mo.
You were Curly, right?
And then that's how they got their name, because eventually that tribe was killed off, and so we used to say Mo, he gone. So Mohegan. Got it.
Yeah. I like turtles.
All right. Well, that's it for us today. Again, this episode has been sponsored by DVCBuyResale.com. DVC by Resale is a great place to buy or sell your Disney Vacation Club points. You can view the current DVC resales, get answers to frequently asked questions, and see the DVC point charts, all by going to www.dvcbyresale.com. Or email Chantel, who's the owner, at info@dvcbyresale.com. And if you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, you can visit the Walt Disney World Study website at www.wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For Len Tessler, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and Chris Eliopoulos, I am Matt Hochberg. I will see you on the next show.
I like turtles.
And just a programming note that our next live show will be this Sunday, September 30th at 8 p.m. Eastern. For more information on how to listen and how to check out the webcams and how to chat with fellow listeners, visit the website at wdwtoday.com. This live show will be sponsored by magicmeets.com. For more information on this Magic Meets Disney fan gathering, go to magicmeets.com.